So it's a function of the market, Avneet, right? And when you think of crypto, there are multiple factors at play here. Number one is just the macroeconomic situation in the world, right? So what's happening with respect to Fed rates, what's happening with respect to commodities market, equities market globally, etc., etc. Right. So it's a function of that. Then second, it's a function of the underlying technology innovation in the crypto and the blockchain space as well, as and when there are new projects, as and when there are new developments, as and when there are fixes to the newer developments, the markets change, right? So I would say that generally world is going through a volatile phase because of multiple macroeconomic changes, be it with respect to Russia, Ukraine, be it with respect to international trade, be it with respect to geopolitical situation, right? So multiple things are changing, which are impacting the risk of sentiment across the world, across the asset classes, right? So in the past few days, in the past few months, number of asset classes, without naming, without pointing fingers at any, have gone down or have become very volatile, right? Even if they have not gone down, they have become very volatile. And similar is the case with crypto. Crypto, of course, happens to be very young and nascent asset class as compared to other asset classes, and hence the volatility is always higher. So if you have X volatility in other asset classes, crypto will always be slightly more volatile than other asset classes because the industry is nascent and because any kind of change ends up impacting a lot more things. To top it up, we are also seeing a lot of new projects, new developments in crypto, right? So fundamentally, for example, ETH 2.0 was much talked about. New coins are coming, new technologies are coming. So that is also fundamentally changing the landscape, right? We have seen NFTs grow in the past few months. Last year, NFTs were the talk of the town. DeFi projects are coming up. Gaming projects are coming up. So a lot of newer innovations are also happening in the crypto markets, which also contribute to it being volatile in one way or the other. Prices moving up or down is a function of not just one parameter. It's a global trading market. So any news globally impacts the trading volumes and the trading prices across the markets, right? So for example, equities have been trending down for the longest possible time because of the risk of sentiment, focus on profitability, focus on free cash flows, etc., etc., right? And nobody knows what the new monetary policy for the world would be. Nobody knows how will Russia-Ukraine war pan out to be. Nobody knows what the oil prices would be. Nobody knows how the commodities and international trade will get impacted by it, right? So like we are living in a world where everything is connected. So just crypto itself, whatever the developments may be, will not be the only factor impacting the price, right? There would always be other factors at play, and those factors are impacting the markets globally, right? Any asset class you choose, the market prices are being impacted downwards. I would not say it like that. Every industry goes through its up and down, and every market has its own volatile conditions. What we ask investors is that there is no single right time to invest in a market, and that holds true for equities. That holds true for crypto as well, right? So you cannot, me, you, anybody else for that matter, cannot say that this is the right time to invest in the market. Markets are down; it will not go further down. Let's invest now, right? So we ask investors to keep their periodic investments up and running so that the dollar cost averaging benefits them and they're able to make money in a longer run, right? We can't say that this is, the markets are high. There are always contrary thoughts, right? If the markets are high, you can always question and say that markets are high enough, would it go further high? And when markets are down, you can always question that markets can go further down, right? So there will always be a greed and fear element when it comes to investments and trading, and hence the only way to do it is be very, very disciplined, keep investing at regular frequencies, and keep balancing your portfolio every now and then. Yeah, definitely. Diversification, for example, right? We have seen a lot of young investors getting exposed to coins which have very less price very frequently. The inherent mentality is that if the price is, let's say, 10 rupees, 15 rupees, 30 rupees, then it can appreciate a lot more versus the price being 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, right? That's one mentality which people generally come with. Now, if these people start having an exposure to a Bitcoin and an Ether as well, then the volatility of their portfolio is much lesser. right? They end up benefiting, even if the sort of much less recognized coin they had invested in, even if that coin ends up going down, they end up not getting so severe losses on their portfolio as they would have otherwise. And we have seen this behavior across a lot of people. People end up investing in some of these coins, and then over time, as they buy more and more coins in their portfolio, as the spread of the coin increases, the volatility of their portfolio goes down. Yes, there's an inherent volatility in the market. Of course, it's not a fixed return kind of a scheme, but the volatility definitely comes down. And SIP, so we recently launched CIP, which is the periodic investment plan, which you asked me about, right? So we launched it around 4 weeks back. So there have been enough people who have been able to buy their crypto assets at a regular frequency of a week. Sometimes what we have seen is if people invest once, then they don't care about what's happening in the market, right? Just the kind of association they have with their portfolio becomes less because they're not monitoring it every day. Versus if they are doing more frequently, then they at least know what's happening in the market. Is my SIP doing fine? Should I increase or should I decrease my SIP amount and things like that, right? So one is just the returns part, but second is the education part, which we believe is more important given the market is so new. And it's important for people to understand what is happening. Why is Bitcoin falling or gaining? What are the factors at play? What are the newer protocols coming? So that education you can only get if you are more disciplined and more regular in the crypto investment space.